When the trial finally began in August 2024, the courtroom was filled with anticipation. The most surprising moment came when Tellus decided to testify in his own defense, not through traditional questioning, but in a free-flowing narrative where he addressed the jury directly. It was a rare move that immediately commanded the courtroom's attention. Tellus used his time on the stand to deny any involvement in the murder and to present an alternative explanation. He claimed that a professional assassin had targeted German and intentionally made it appear as though he was responsible. He expanded that theory into a broader allegation, suggesting the entire case was part of a coordinated effort against him, involving investigators, prosecutors, and even the forensic laboratory that processed the evidence. Because he chose to testify, the prosecution had the right to cross-examine him, and they used that opportunity aggressively. The prosecutor walked him through each piece of evidence, challenging the narrative he had presented and questioning the plausibility of his claims. It became one of the most intense exchanges of the entire trial. The courtroom watched as both sides clashed over motive, evidence, and the dramatic accusations of a setup. What had started as a workplace controversy had unfolded into a highly publicized murder case filled with twists, shifting strategies, and a defendant determined to tell his story his own way.
Let's talk about your house for a second. When they went over to your house, they took a look underneath your couch. Publishing 224. That's your couch, right?
That is my couch.
And underneath your couch is a shoe and a chopped up shoe, right?
Right.
Okay. That's the gray Nike, correct?
Pure so, yes, sir.
Publishing 228. That's what it looks like, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's gray in color, correct?
Yes.
It is a Nike brand, correct?
Yes, sir.
It has a black swoosh, correct?
Yes, sir.
It has 4 horizontal, or at least vertical bars in the middle of that shoe, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. You would agree with me. That's the shoe that the killer was wearing, correct?
I don't know that that's the case.
You don't know? Well, it sure looks a heck of a lot like it, right?
Yes, it could be the same model, but it could be a different size.
Sure. Let's just look at it.
I don't disagree that it's the same model.
Right. It's the exact same type of shoe, right?
Right.
Okay. So we're not in dispute about it. We can agree on that, right?
Right, yes, sir.
And your DNA is in those shoes that are found in your house, correct?
I don't know that to be the case.
Okay, but that's the whole thing of it's a setup and I think the DNA people are framing me. Something along those lines, right?
Whether it's them or someone else?
You've
sure.
heard the results. The results say that your DNA is in that shoe. We did hear that, correct?
That is what we heard.
Okay, and you just think it's just another part of the conspiracy to somehow get your DNA into those shoes.
So I believe that there are officers who, when they think that a fellow officer needs help plugging holes in the case, that they're willing to do what they have to.
Okay, all right. But before we move on, I gotta ask you this too. So if Metro's really, so you think Metro's framing you for this?
As I said before, I think that we've got some officers who are overzealous and who've decided to help Jappy plug holes in his case,
Sure.
not knowing what his relationship was with Compass Realty.
Here's
I object, sir. If you'd be allowed to answer the question before.
Okay.
The next question, please.
Sir, I got a question for you. If the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department wanted to frame you, why didn't they put the murder weapon in your house?
I think that maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's a good question.
Great question, because if the murder weapon that had Gehrman's DNA in was inside your house, wouldn't that be an even better case?
Yeah, but at the same time, I think
But it's not there, is it?
No.
No, it's not. Even though, according to you, they control everything, they don't put the murder weapon on you?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make any sense?
I think it does.
Okay. How about this? If Compass Realty wants to kill you, why don't they encourage Metro we'd really like you to put the murder weapon in there? Why didn't they do something like that?
I don't know.
That seems really odd that the most significant thing is not in your house, correct?
I think what's odd is that 5 days after the murder, that supposedly there was a shoe
So the answer
and
to my
also a
question-
hat in my house.
So the answer to my question, the most significant piece of evidence, the murder weapon, is not in your house despite your theory you've been framed.
That's correct, sir.
Let's talk about this. We've seen the picture of the killer. What's the most notable thing, by far the most notable thing, on the killer's person?
It's either the hat or the shirt.
It's the shirt, right? And that shirt is not in your house, is it?
No.
If Metro or Compass or Rita or Cliff all wanted to frame you, why didn't they put the bright orange coat in your house?
I couldn't speak to that. All I can tell
Doesn't
you is,
that sound not very professional if they're trying to set you up?
I don't know, maybe for plausibility's sake, they put half the
Oh,
stuff
they
in
want to
there. I'm
dial
not
it
sure.
back.
I don't know.
Okay. Here's another thing. Why don't they cover your car in Garriman's DNA? Why did they do that?
Because they didn't have access to the car until the day that Mr. Mogg took photos.
But they have, I mean, they control everything. They take it to their CSI garage and they rub it full of DNA. Why is there no DNA of Garriman in your car? And if they want to frame you, why isn't it there? Do you have an answer for that?
Sir, I don't know.
Okay. But one of the things that we do know is that prior to your arrest, you do in fact wash that car, correct?
The exterior only.
You still wash it, correct?
Oh, yes.
And your testimony to this jury was, after Rita told me about the tweets about the car that I found so strikingly similar, I went out and washed my car. You told them that on direct. Isn't that correct?
No, sir.
You mean Roberta?
I meant Roberta. After Roberta told you, gosh, that looks just like your car, and you read John R. Custer's tweet, you went out and that prompted you to start washing the Yukon.
No.
That's not your testimony.
No. I said that I washed all 3 vehicles.
Great. Including your Yukon.
Yes.
Right. Because you'd agree if you only wash one of them, that might look a little suspicious, right?
I don't know that I was planning things to be suspicious or not suspicious, sir.
Okay. But let's just be clear. You would agree with me, washing things can make evidence go away. Isn't that right?
I would think DNA evidence would be inside of a vehicle, not on the outside, sir.
Okay. Sir, you'd be surprised.
Okay.
But that's
Well,
not the
I guess
point.
I guess I would be surprised then.
My question is this. Washing things can make evidence go away, correct?
Could it possibly? Yes.
Thank you.
Prosecutor Hamner challenges Mr. Tellis's theory that he was framed for the murder by questioning him about the logic behind his story. While cross-examining a witness, attorneys are not permitted to argue directly to the jury or express personal opinions about the evidence. Additionally, under Section 50.115 of the Nevada Revised Statutes, cross-examination is generally limited to the topics covered during direct examination, or in Mr. Tellis's case, his narrative testimony, and questions regarding the witness's credibility. Here, Mr. Hamner questions Mr. Tellis about his argument that he was framed for the murder in an apparent attempt to point out its infeasibility. For instance, Mr. Hamner asks why, if others had truly conspired to frame him, they would not have gone further and planted the most incriminating evidence possible, such as the murder weapon or the bright orange shirt seen in the surveillance footage of the killer. In this line of questioning, Mr. Hamner's strategy appears to be to expose the internal inconsistencies in Mr. Tellis's direct testimony that he was framed for the murder by highlighting how illogical and unbelievable his version of events really is.
Let's continue down the path of what's in your phone. We're going to be publishing Exhibit 354. If we could just cue over for a second to the overhead. This is this extraction report that has a lot of images regarding Google Maps in your phone. Do you remember hearing testimony about this?
That's what I heard.
Okay. And the date on this is August 12th of 2022. Isn't that correct? That's when these files appear. Isn't that right?
That's when it purports to have appeared.
Sir, you would agree with me. You don't actually have to go to Bronze Circle to get Google Maps to generate these images, correct? All you have to do is go to the website. Isn't that right?
For any location, sure. Yes.
Sure. And this is, what, about 2 to 3 weeks before Mr. Garriman is killed?
If we can trust the date, yes.
All right. So, sir, I'm opening the folder that says Bronze Circle. If we could cue over, please. that's Jeff Garriman's house, correct?
I have come to learn that it is his house.
That's a great point. You've come to learn that because prior to this all happening, you had never been over to the house, correct?
Correct.
You'd have no reason to be over at that house, correct?
That is absolutely correct.
You don't even know where he lives because I'm sure Mr. Garriman didn't give you his personal address.
That is absolutely correct.
And yet the weird thing is, when we go through these images, when we start getting to like the Google Maps data, like that's his house, right?
It looks like that is the house.
Yeah. Same thing, that's his house, right?
It appears to be.
Like if we look over here in the back, that's literally the very spot where Mr. Garriman breathes his last breath. Isn't that right?
Objection to all speculation.
Sustained.
That's the very last spot that we see Mr. Garriman from that body cam, right? He's lying right over there.
It looks like a similar area.
Similar. It's the area, isn't it?
If you say so, sure.
So you don't believe that's the spot?
I mean, it looks like the house, so I would think.
How
I
about
don't think so.
there? Isn't that where Mr. Garriman was found by the police?
And I would think likely so.
And the very spot that his body is lying is inside your phone.
That is very strange. I mean, how does someone plan to have a victim in a particular area at their home? That's again.
So you would agree with me that if you were planning to kill someone at their house, it might be a good idea to get a lay of the land, right?
I've never plotted to kill anyone.
Oh, I didn't say you. I'm just talking hypothetically. You would agree with me that if you were planning to kill someone, it might be a good idea to get a lay of the land,
I
correct?
object to the hypothetical question. He's not an expert, so.
Oh, we'll take an answer.
Let me ask you that question one more time. You'd agree with me. If you're planning on killing someone, it's a good idea to get the lay of the land, right?
I don't know. I don't know what the circumstances are. I don't know what you're talking about as far as where you want to, do this deed or whatever.
Mr. Tellis, if you wanted, let's do it. You don't want to answer the question. We'll do it another way.
Again, I object to the characterization.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Tellis, if you're planning on doing something, you want to prepare for it, correct?
It depends on what you're planning to do.
Okay. How about your work? As a public administrator, did you prepare every day to go to work to be competent at what you're doing?
Yes.
Did you do that because it's important to do the job correctly?
Yes, sir.
And if the stakes are really big, you want to make sure you're super prepared?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there's over 100 images of Bronze Circle neighborhood in your house, correct? In your phone, isn't that right?
I don't know that they are, sir.
Okay, well then let's start clicking.
Plus, again, I wouldn't use my card.
It's not my question. My question is, this is contained in your phone, right, sir?
I don't believe so.
Okay, you don't believe so?
If it is in there, I didn't put it there, sir.
Okay, so the answer is it's there, but you didn't put it there, correct?
Again, I do not know that it's there, and I certainly did not put it there.
Okay, so okay, sir. You did.
You're asking me to testify
sir,
something that I can't tell you is true.
Right. But you did hear the testimony of someone coming and said, I looked in his phone and that stuff is there, correct?
That's what they've said.
It's the same phone that your expert looked at, correct? To extract Celebrite data from, right? It's the exact same phone, correct?
Sure.
Did you ever hear Mr. Aguero ever say that your phone was compromised in any way? Did you ever hear that from him?
We never asked him that question.
Okay, but he didn't say it, did he?
The question was never asked.
Right. He looked at your data, he prepared a report, and alerted no one to any problems with your phone, correct?
I don't know.
Additionally,
I would object to, he was not called upon to review the phone. He reviewed the Celebrite extraction from the phone, so I object to this line of question.
The objection is sustained.
we can move on. You heard from Matt Hovanek from the DFL department. He testified that there weren't any issues with this phone, correct? When he looked at data that came from it, correct?
He said that, I guess they try not to modify contents of things, but he didn't say that it was impossible.
Okay. Here, well, we can do this too. You got up on direct examination and you went through message by message by message, and you didn't complain about any of the messages that were on September 2nd, correct?
I dispute.
I object as to complaint.
Rephrase the question.
Sure. You offered testimony to this jury about the timeline, correct?
Yes.
You went text by text and phone call by phone call, and you explained things, right?
Right.
At no point did you say, oh, there's a problem here, correct?
Correct.
You had no problem with that information, did you?
Right.
Okay. Sir, do you find it a little bit strange that when you find information that's helpful for you in your phone, you don't think there's a problem with it, but when there's damaging evidence in your phone, you believe maybe it's been hacked or compromised?
I do think that if someone was trying to frame me, that obviously they would leave the content that I made on the phone as well as whatever they decided to put on there. Yes.
And as we see here, like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 different houses are being photographed, correct?
If that is truly what was on my phone, then supposedly sure.
Okay. Here's a good example. In this image, there's a security camera being focused on in the image, correct?
That's what it appears to be, which brings up a question that I would have.
There's no question pending, and you're going to get a chance on redirect. You'll be able to say whatever you need to say. But let's be clear. There's an image that isolates on a security camera for the next door neighbor, Mr. Gehrman. It's right there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. There's one right there.
And here was something I remember you told me about. When you started out, what was your first job again?
IT.
IT. You've got a technical background, correct?
Right.
I believe even on direct examination, you described yourself as a techie, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
So you know your way around a computer, right?
Right.
Fair to say you know your way around different software, correct?
Right.
Fair to say you know your way around a cell phone, right?
Right.
You certainly know how to use Google Maps, right?
I think a lot of people do.
Right. Anyone could use that, correct?
Right.
And you would consider yourself a fairly thorough person in your work as a public administrator, right?
More thorough than to do something like this? Sure.
You consider yourself detail-oriented?
I do.
Okay. Can we cue over for 1 second to the overhead? There's over 132 images in your phone focusing on that. Would you say that's a lot of detail?
If that was on my phone, I guess I would say yes.
Okay. And then let's talk about the Popeyes thing, publishing 364. Do you remember these images?
Yes.
Okay.
I remember them being presented as being allegedly on my phone.
Right. The testimony was it was on your phone. You just don't believe you had anything to do with it, correct?
Again, I don't know that they were ever on my phone. I know that I did not take those photos.
Okay, so you're just denying what you heard.
I am saying that whatever the testimony is, that it could have been placed on my phone, or who knows.
The testimony was it was found on your phone, correct?
It was allegedly found on an image of my phone.
Prosecutor Hamner questions Mr. Tellis about a series of photographs of Mr. Gehrman's home that were found on his phone. And, continuing with his theory that he was framed, Mr. Tellis states that he did not put the photos on his phone. This line of questioning goes directly to the legal elements of first-degree murder, which, under Section 200.030 of the Nevada Revised Statutes, requires proof that the killing was willful, deliberate, and premeditated. By presenting the photographs of Mr. Gehrman's home found on Mr. Tellis's phone, Mr. Hamner seems to be seeking to establish that the defendant engaged in conduct consistent with planning and surveillance, which would demonstrate forethought rather than impulse. The presence of these images on Mr. Tellis's personal device suggests that he not only knew where Mr. Gehrman lived, but had taken steps to observe him in advance of the crime and plan the murder. When confronted with this evidence, Mr. Tellis maintains his claim that he was framed and denies having placed the photos on his phone. Well, rather than disputing him directly, Mr. Hamner allows the inconsistencies in that explanation to speak for themselves, relying on the evidence to illustrate the implausibility of the defense and to reinforce the state's theory of premeditation under Nevada law.
If we could cue over to the overhead, or the computer. We talked about being detailed-oriented. You would agree this is numerous images from the same spot, correct?
It appears so.
And if we kind of look, and I just can't see because of the monitor, I mean, we're looking at, that's a sedan, correct?
Yes.
Sedan, correct. Well, it's like a minivan, but it's gray
It's
in
like
color,
a crossover.
right? And that's gray in color, right?
Sure.
And that's a truck. That's kind of a whitish gray, right? Another gray car, correct?
Sure.
Another gray sedan, correct? This one's a Honda, right?
Sure.
Or maybe that's not a Honda. I don't want to misspeak. That might be a Kia.
It looks like a Honda,
Is it? Okay, it's a Honda.
I think, or unless it's a Hyundai.
Or a Hyundai. I'm not
don't know.
sure. It kind of looks like an H. We've got an SUV here, but there's a lot of images here, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And according to this report, if we could cue over, got 101, correct?
That's what it alleges.
That's a lot of photos, correct?
It would be.
It looks like surveillance, doesn't it?
It looks like a stupid way to do surveillance.
Right. Looks kind of amateurish, doesn't it?
Right.
Not professional.
Right. I wouldn't see how that makes sense.
And then, sir, another thing located in your phone were these. Can we cue over to the overhead? Sir, what are we looking at here?
Looks like it's a identification of a vehicle that is owned by Mr. Gurman.
It's a Honda, right?
Yes, sir.
And we know from the photographs earlier, his Honda is gray, correct? We saw from the photos. Right?
I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention to the color with the earlier testimony.
You
Sorry.
have no reason to dispute me if I told you that the color of the car was gray, correct?
I don't, sir.
Okay. And we saw in those images lots of gray cars were getting smashed, correct?
Yeah, I saw a black one and a white one, but yes.
And you know what that program that's pulling up that information is, don't you, Mr.
That I do, yes.
That's IDI Core, correct?
Right.
That is proprietary software that is in fact used by the Public Administration's Office, correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
It gives the person at the Public Administration's Office the ability to look up personally identifying information about people, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And we can see here that Jeffrey Guerin is being looked up on IDI Core, correct?
What I remember correctly looking at this was it was looked up by address.
Well, that's just one report, sir. Let's look at this result. We can see
What's
he's connected.
the search term?
There's no question pending, sir.
Okay.
Take a look at registrants. What's the registrant?
Again, it's Jeffrey M. Gurman.
Right. And if we look down, what's the first address associated with this?
P.O. Box.
Okay. And then we go to the next entry. What's the address associated with Mr. Guerin?
7216. It's the second one related to Mr. Gurman. There's a first one related to Mr. Gurman. That's the P.O. Box, which is current. The second one is 7216 Bronze Circle, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89. I can't read this.
Mr. Tellis, that's where Mr. Guerin lived, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's where he was murdered, correct?
Yes, sir.
And this image of his personal information and his home address is located inside your phone.
Again, I don't know that it is.
Okay, so we're just, again, we don't have to do the dance, but you're just not accepting the testimony that it was located on your phone.
That is correct.
Okay, all right. But you'd agree with me that from just that bottom there, that looks like a desktop monitor, a Dell desktop monitor, correct?
Correct.
And again, this has more information about Mr. Guerin's cars, correct?
Yes, sir.
This is IDI Core, correct?
Right.
Software that is in your office, correct?
The office that Mr. Jappy visited, yes.
Okay. This is more IDI Core images, correct?
Appears so, yes, sir.
Let me just come out and ask you. This is your desk, isn't it?
It probably is.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. During your official duties as the public administrator, you didn't have like a case with Mr. Guerin at all, right?
No, sir, I didn't. And what was the search term to find that?
Well, one of the search terms was 7216 Bronze Circle, correct?
Can you show that to me?
Sure. 7216 Bronze. We can cue over to the overhead. Can everybody see that? So you can see that, right?
Yes, sir, I can.
And the date, the created time is 8/23/2022 at 6:05 p.m., correct?
Yes, that's what it reports to be.
Okay. And that was a weekday, wasn't it?
I'm sure it was, because, I don't know.
And there's one more thing. This wasn't converted into UTC time. So if we subtract 7 hours, that's at 11:05 a.m. in the morning on 8/23, correct?
And again, I don't know if this document's been modified by a PDF viewer or not, but
Do you
it purports to be of that day.
You recall the testimony, you recall the testimony of Matt Hovanich, which said this was not converted, and when you convert it, this search was conducted at 11 o'clock in the morning, correct? You recall him saying, I'm not asking if you agree with it, do you recall it being said?
I know that I didn't do the search, so I couldn't tell you definitively.
So I'd like you to focus on my question. Do you recall Mr. Hovanich saying that here in court?
That's what he said.
Okay. And just to be clear, publishing 351, there it is. That's a weekday. That's a Tuesday, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you typically have random people coming into your office using your desktop software?
Again, that could have been modified in a number of ways.
So,
in
sir,
a number of ways, sir.
That's not my question. My question is, as the public administrator, did you allow people to go into your office in the middle of the day and manipulate and use your computer?
I didn't allow it, but that's not to say that it didn't happen, sir.
So the answer is, you had an edict that said you're not allowed to do this, correct?
But if I wasn't around or whatever, I don't know.
I mean, you would hope as the head of the department, they would have at least not used your computer, right?
I would have hoped, but you'd be surprised what happened in that office.
Okay. Right, because of the conspiracy? Right, okay.